Hello, my name's Dr. Lee Bofkin. I'm co-founder and CEO of Global Street Art. GlobalStreetArt.com is the largest online street art photo archive with over 80,000 photos uploaded by artists from all over the world. We share the photos that artists add to our website with over 160,000 fans on social media. I went full-time on Global Street Art in early 2012, and we've been working on the project for about 2.5 years now. We didn't have a business model when we started, and over time we just started, we started organising walls just as a service for artists really, just to help artists find legal places to paint in London. We noticed that it was difficult for artists to get permission to paint walls legally in London, and so they were typically just painting the same few legal walls week after week after week. Some of the best art that I've seen doesn't last very long. In cities where there's not that many legal places to paint, artists often paint over each other quite quickly. When we started in 2012, we saw that happening quite a lot. We started asking permission for artists to paint walls legally, just as kind of a service to artists. We didn't really know what we wanted to do, but we knew we wanted to help. So since March 2012, we've organised over 600 legal street art murals in London. We've painted lots of different neighbourhoods: Elephant and Castle, the South Bank, Sydenham, in Peckham. We've just, any place that people will give us a wall, we'll paint there. So we do street art on one side, but we also do hand-painted advertising on the other side. So when we work with brands, we apply a lot of the same techniques, but it's not street art anymore, it's just a really high-quality form of advertising. And as well as producing these beautiful murals, we also produce videos. I think there's 3 reasons why hand-painted advertising is cool. Firstly, it's an experience to watch people painting it. Secondly, the piece itself looks amazing when it's finished, it's really high impact. And then we also produce video and other digital content that can be used in social media that maybe traditional billboards can't produce so easily. I think most of the street art that we see today is actually probably online. It comes to us by email, it comes through news feeds, people tend to share it. The quality of the street art we see online, I think, goes up because we see the most shared stuff, the things that our friends like. And I think that's really opened people's minds to how good street art can be. Street art today is a lot broader than most people realise. So we call all of this amazing art street art, but it actually includes painting realistically, things that look like this, text-based work, calligraphy, 3D things, abstract work. It's all street art, but it's really, really broad. One of the things that I really started realising more and more about street art, and you can see it happening all over the world today, is that it's a low-cost way of regenerating neighbourhoods in cities. If you're an architect and you want to regenerate part of a city, you probably think about knocking buildings down and building new stuff. With street art, you don't have to do that. You work with what's already there and you make it better. The beauty of street art is that it sees a city not for how it is, but for how it could be. So the Unilever message is crafting brands for life, and there's 3 elements for that. The first is put people first, the second is build brand love, and the third is unlock the magic. So within the idea of crafting brands for life, the 2 things we want to talk most with you guys about are the crafting part and the life part. The essence of craft, or crafting, is about turning whatever you're doing into an art form. So if you're crafting brands, you're turning that into an art form. If we're producing murals and walls, it's about bringing out the art form in doing that too. When you're talking about crafting brands for life, you're really talking about building a relationship with your customers that's going to last a lifetime. The way we work with artists comes from a point of view of respect, and that's a good bedrock to build a relationship that can last a lifetime. And that's similar between Unilever and your customers. We as consumers have much better access to information than at any point in history. If a company misbehaves or doesn't live up to its ideals, that message spreads quickly online today. Put it another way, if a brand does do something good as well, then that message spreads too. The way we see it, a brand is the projected image of a company. If that brand has integrity, then there's no disconnection between what the brand says and what the company does. If it's just a projected image, but the company doesn't live up to that, then you can kind of see through that. The artists we work with have spent years developing their abilities. For Unilever, that craft in designing products, marketing those products, and all of the support operations that happen around that also takes years. Remember, the idea of craft is it can be applied to anything. So you're elevating anything into an art form, and it doesn't have to be pure art. One of the key words for working in public space is sensitivity. We're sensitive to the neighborhoods where we paint and how people might receive the murals we organize. What we do can affect people's lives on a daily basis. What you do can also affect people's lives on a daily basis. And so that sensitivity, how you manage that relationship between you and your customer, is really important for the relationship that you want to have over the long term. Unilever has 170,000 employees all over the world. That's important. That is a lot of people all focused on doing one thing, and that gives you guys a lot of power to make people's day that little bit better. We hope, with the murals we organize, to create an environment where people are more happy and more likely to express themselves. And that's our final thought and the notion of craft. It's not something that you can keep to yourself. If you have craft and you're focused on that, other people feel the effects of it.